Good afternoon and welcome to More Meets the Eye. I'm your host, Blind Prime, and for today we're going to be talking about G.I. Joe Classified Series Carl Doc Greer, the newly released G.I. Joe Classified figure, the one that I, on this channel, had been waiting for a long, long time. Take a look at my older More Than Meets the Eye videos, and you'll see the one where I talk about the Wrek and Slambulance. Yeah, I mentioned wanting Carl Doc Greer there, and that was years ago. So I've been waiting on this guy for a while, but before we get into him, let's talk about the changes in packaging because we're back to plastic, baby. Yeah, right? We're all excited, right? It's time for the plastic. We're done away with the stupid little foot lockers that weren't 1/12 scale, but they were like, they're foot lockers. But they were not 1/12 scale at all, so I considered them all to be trash. And, they just went back in the box after emptying them. But this isn't all good news with this packaging. This isn't good news at all. I mean, yeah, partly good news, but partly bad news, okay? So I have Red Ninja here. I'm hoping this is the Red Ninja. Yeah, I asked if, yeah, so it should be Red Ninja. I really hope it's Red Ninja. Anyway, so here we go. We've got the newest packaging and some of the older packaging, because I think Red Ninja's in the 20s. And Carl Doc here is in the 120s, so kind of 100 figure difference between these two, but this is what I wanted to showcase. So the Doc's packaging is shorter by a finger's width than the, I give it like 5 millimeters, maybe 6, shorter than, actually, I wonder if that's just one stud. You know what, people? We got our handy dandy Lego pad that we can bring out here, and this will really help us understand more about the changes in the sizes of the packaging. And if you're like me and have them all stacked up in a nice neat tower, this is really going to suck. So let's bring out the handy dandy Lego pad, and it states that Carl's packaging here is at, oh my god, Carl, okay, I had to do it, 19, 20, 21, so that means, yeah, that's, no, that's not right. Let's see, 32, 31, 30, 29, 28, 27, 27, so 28, 29 studs tall, right? Yeah, and that is, and Red Ninja's packaging here is 32, 31, 30 studs tall. So 1 stud difference between height in these packagings. And now let's take a look at the depth of them, because I think they're about the same depth. Hey, come back here, Carl. All right, Carl. Okay, yeah, they're the same width. I mean, depth, but that's nice. I like that they're the same depth. Now let's take a look at width-wise. So we've got Red Ninja packaging is at a width of, here we go, and there. Wow. Okay, so that is 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Let's make sure. 19 studs in width. Now, let's take a look at Carl's packaging here. And Carl's packaging is at, and there, yeah. Okay, so that's 8. That's the 16 marker, so 15 studs. That's a big difference between 19 and 15 studs. So you can understand a little bit of my apprehension at this, of just being like, really? Yeah, you did this to us? You made the packaging weird, so now it's going to stack oddly. At least the older numbers are going to make a good base for the packaging, but we're done with packaging now. Other than, it's got a nice plastic sleeve in there, and everything came out quite nicely. I do appreciate that. But now let's bring in the real show winner here. And I've got, of course, the ambulance, because I have to have the ambulance. It's the ambulance, and it's Carl. So Carl's always been wanting to drive the ambulance there, fix the hood. So in the driver's seat, I have Barbecue, Kelly, and in the passenger seat, I have Doc. So let's go ahead and pull up Doc here and talk about him. I just like the idea that I now have a, oh Lord, what was that? What fell off you? He's got so many things on him. We're going to talk about all of this. Let's bring him out and straighten him up and figure out what fell. What fell off you? There's something that fell off of you, and now we got to find it. Okay, there's you. All that stuff's there. Straighten your legs out. Okay, and your pistol's there. Your injector's there. You're missing a side pocket. All right. Nuts. Knocking stuff over. Let's see. Always knocking stuff over. Is there any pocket in here? Or did it fall out on... I think it fell out onto here. So... Aha! I found the pocket. Okay, cool. All right. Let's go ahead and close this up and reach into the top and get out a couple of things to showcase with him. We've got the gurney that comes with the Slambulance, and we have his gurney. And just because, you know, it's a rescue guy, we've also got the Jaws of Life, and I just think the Jaws of Life are fun. We're going to set you on the floor, sir. There you go. All right. Where did Carl go? Okay, here's Carl. Come here, Carl. All right. I like Carl's glasses. I do appreciate those. They stay on very well. We are going to talk about everything with this guy. Let me put this accessory back. First off, I want to talk about one of the more unique accessories, and we may actually require some assistance for that one from Barbecue. And so let me grab out Barbecue, and I need another 1/12 scale figure, but I can access one very easily. Come here, Barbecue. You're needed. Let go of the steering wheel. Let go of the steering wheel. Thank you. Okay. Is your stuff still there? Where's... You lost your stuff that's holstered. Where's your holstered things? Uh-oh. All right. There we go. There's Barbecue. And... Hey. Barbecue. Hey. Make sure those drop-down hinges are dropped down. Now... Did I lose his pieces? His axe is somewhere. Oh yeah, I remember. His tiny axe is stored. So, there's those guys. Now let me grab one more so we can showcase everything this thing can do. I just need you, Beachhead. Come here. Beachhead, come here. Come here, Beachhead. Up. Let go. Thank you. You don't need your backpack for this, Beachhead. You can set it down over there. All right. We needed 3 figures to do this, and sorry for the time it takes me to gather these guys. I thought they'd all be close enough. Okay. We've got Carl, we've got Barbecue, and we've got Beachhead. Now, Beachhead is our guy on the gurney. So we're going to go over the gurney first because I just love this gurney. So we're going to make sure we line up his back socket here. So there's a back socket right there. And on the gurney, you've got this little pylon that comes up, and that's going to lock into his back. Okay, so now we can lay him down flat on the gurney, and that's not completely right. That's going to suck. Let's see, what happens if we turn the gurney upside down? Maybe this is right side up for the gurney. I haven't been able to figure that out, but maybe this is actually just right side up because that pylon isn't there anymore. And those act as little feet. Okay, yeah, so I had the gurney upside down. There we go. Line Carl up on the gurney here. And now we can set that off to the side. Okay, let's see if we can do this. Okay, so we're showcasing one of the features of this toy, which is this fun little gurney. And that means that he'll have to be able to hold the gurney. So we're going to take Beachhead off the gurney. And let's put Carl's hands into the holes here at the ends. This is really neat. I really like this gurney and how it works. So it just requires that you set it up first before putting a figure on it, because it's going to be really difficult if the figure's already on it while you're trying to set all this stuff up. So make sure this hand is in the right area. There it goes. Okay. All right, so I got Carl holding it. on his side. Now, we're going to like lean him. Now we got to bring in Barbecue here. Barbecue, of course, is going to be walking forward, so he's got to hold it behind him. Okay, now we're going to slide it. Stay still, Carl. And let's go ahead and slide it through Barbecue's hands there. And we're going to slide it through Barbecue's hands on the other side. Come on, man. There you go. You big muscly brute. You can move your hands further back. There you are. Yeah, you can do it. Oh, it's a little tough for Barbecue to get that pose. But there we go. Barbecue's got the pose. Carl's got the pose. Let's straighten their legs out so that they can actually assist each other and become like a four-legged structure here. All right, there we go. And now we can take Beachhead here, and let's see how this works. Okay, so we're going to have to stretch Barbecue. I'm going to dock back a bit further. Okay, raise him up. All right, can you stretch forwards a bit further, Barbecue, or is that about all you can take? It's about all he can take. He's not the most flexible. So you're going to have to get a bit more of a flexible figure for this. There we go. Okay, and you've got it right over here. No, your feet aren't entirely positioned correctly. Straighten those feet out. There you go. Okay, now let's try Beachhead with just that little bit of extra room. And there we go. Now does it hold? Oh, by golly, it holds. This is the first time I've done this. I wanted to do it on the channel first as kind of a blind reaction. Now let's move them around. It's cool. Okay, I like it. I like how this works. I think this is excellent. This is a lot of fun. All right, you got these guys holding in between them, though Doc keeps wanting to go further backwards. Seems like the weight is just a bit much on Doc's end. Maybe Doc should be actually on the front next time, and I should put somebody else in the back, because Doc keeps wanting to move forwards, and I have a feeling that after a while, this is actually going to collapse. But for picture-taking purposes, it's pretty good, and if you can get some stands, I think this will work excellent. But that is a really fun thing I wanted to showcase real quick, that you can do this, and that is really neat. So we're going to move Beachhead over here. You can just hang out in front of here, in front of that Transformers emblem. There you go, sir. Now let's go ahead and get Barbecue out of the way. Here we go. There we go. And come on, there you go. Ah, nuts. And of course, Doc falls over. Okay, there we go. Moves little Transformers weapons out of the way, and Barbecue and Beachhead. There you are. Excellent. Now let's go ahead and move the rest of the stuff. There it goes. And I did put that piece on him, right? Yeah. No. Wait, did I? Yeah, okay. I did put the piece that fell off back on him. All right. So that is just me showcasing the really interesting and neat gurney that he has. This nice folding gurney. Now you can fold the gurney up, and if we take this off your back, yeah, here it is. So we're going to take this piece off his back, and we can put the gurney there. So come on, get in there. There it is. There we are. Now the gurney can sit on his back, kinda, but it's not really the best. It is not really the greatest connection right there, and that's kind of a shame. Let's see, can we get a better connection going on here for the gurney? Okay, let's take off the lower back piece. Something else fell off it. This guy's got a lot of pockets. Okay, he's got an insane amount of pockets going on here. And there we are. There. Gurney in place. Now, let's see. We've got these two pockets. I want to make sure that I get all of his pockets together, because we're going to talk about all of them. So that's what he looks like with the gurney. The gurney sticks up just above his head a bit, but you can put it on his back, and that's just really neat. Then again, you can also lower it further, because there's a hole on his lower back, and let's see if we can put it in that one. There we are. Now, it doesn't want to stay in the lower back hole, though. So let's set the gurney off to the side, or actually we'll just talk about it real quick because this gurney is a really nice accessory when it comes to its sculpt work. So I don't like how big the hinges are here. I think they could have taken a little bit from the G.I. Joe team, not G.I. Joe, the Transformers team, and maybe set up a better hinge that ran across the entirety of this. But I also understand that they wanted to get a perfectly flat structure going on in the middle. Then again, they could have just given us soft goods here, and that would have been just as acceptable. We got two long pipes and a soft good in the middle. This is a nice kind of blueprint if you wanted to do a soft goods version of this, but as textures go, they did manage to get really well done textures for cloth that has been put between two pieces and stretched. Like it feels like a stretched cloth, and that's really cool. They also gave some straps, I guess, so you could strap a person to the gurney, or these straps are actually used to hold it all together. You could, I guess, go either way with those. You've got these four little things on the underside that are like legs, but also, if you flip it upside down, you can get four G.I. Joe figures and come in here and get them to carry uh, one of these little bits on each side. So he can slip his hand in there and he can carry it. So if you got four Joes, they can actually carry two on each side of the gurney. In case you had a bigger guy who was taller and his legs and his head went a little bit further, they can stand on either side and carry the gurney as a crew of four. So that's another way to utilize the gurney if you flip it on its back. By that I mean the um, the part that I think is supposed to be the underside of the gurney has this little pole on it that connects the little pillar. Anyway, that's the gurney. It's got some nice little wrappings. Actually, does it have wrappings? Yeah, it actually feels like it's got bicycle grips. You know those little bicycle grips you can slip onto the ends of a bicycle? Yeah, those things. It feels like it has four of those, one on each of the little sticks coming out. And I like the fact that this one has grips on it. That does make it easier for someone to hold. So we're going to set the gurney down because we're done with it. Now let's collect bags and see how many bags this guy comes with. So we already took off two of the bags. Now we got to take off. Did we already get that bag? Oh, that bag fell off earlier. Did we find where that bag went? I thought I found it. Oh, here it is. Okay, so there's another bag. So there's one. Let's take this off because that's technically, it's a holster. That's a bag. And over here's another little bag. He's got bags. He's got bags. Okay. That feels like a little radio thing. Uh-huh. And no other bags attached to him. I do think that it would have been cool if we gotten a bag to attach to his lower leg, like a paratrooper or something, but this is nice. So let's discuss the bags, and then we're going to get into the figure itself and his helmet and glasses, those accessories. He's got a little pistol too we'll talk about, but we'll set him there for now. Stay. Don't move. Okay, so we've got bag-wise, we have the injector, and this is an auto injector for administering drugs during combat. It's nice. It's got a neat little texture to it for the handle. Not really much going on with this guy, but it's mainly supposed to be like smooth and sleek in the sense of it being a medical tool, and so it won't have too much wear and tear and stuff like that because it's got to stay sterile, and that means he's got to keep it clean and a little bit shiny. So that's a neat little addition. I like that it has. I mean, you can either say this is an auto injector or this could be a flare gun. I think it could either be that. Actually, now that I think about it, I'm moving more towards flare gun than auto injector. But let me know in the comments below. Is this supposed to be a flare gun or an auto injector? And this is the thing that plugs into the pouch that has a holster on it. Now, let's go ahead and give it a test of real quick because I do want to know if the pistol can fit into this holster as well. So we pull out his pistol, and let's go ahead and switch him out real quick and see if you can actually put the pistol in there. Yeah, the pistol does stay in there. It's really loose. Maybe you can mix and match and find a bigger pistol if you wanted to put the auto injector at his leg. Now let's see if the auto injector fits into the pistol holder. The auto injector is a little big, but it does fit in there. It just kind of hangs out a bit more. But I do think that switching out his pistol for something of a heavier caliber and putting the auto injector on his leg is something you can do. He's got like a little 9mm pistol. It's like a holdout gun. It doesn't feel like it carries much ammunition, and it mainly feels like this is an emergency use weapon in the sense of, this is it. He's now has to fight, and he doesn't carry around a very powerful weapon. And that's exactly what this gun feels like. Now let's give it the bendy test. Nuts. It is still made of rubber, which is sad, but I expect that from the pistols. Okay, let's give the medical thing the bendy test. Oh, it's also made of rubber. Sad. So they haven't figured that out yet, and I don't even know how I managed that. That was wild. Let's go ahead and put this back in there. Right, the correct way, please. Thank you. All right, there we are. So that's the auto injector. Its little bag has some nice textures of straps on the front, so that the idea behind this is that he can put this strap through the hole in the auto injector and then strap it back down to ensure that he can run or jump from high places and not worry about this tool flying out of its holster. I do like that. I do wish they had actually given us the ability to fold it over like they did with Copperhead. Those things were really neat. Now, his other bags are all kind of the same, but they're just different sizes. So let's gather them all together and talk about them. He does not come with a backpack. Instead, he comes with all the bags, or all the packs. The smallest one here feels like it's something that can hold his ammunition for his pistol. It is super small, and it can only hold um, one extra clip of ammunition. It's really tiny. It's actually smaller than my fingernail. That's wild. But that piece is small, so be aware. It is easy to lose. Luckily, it already comes onto the figure when you get him out of the bag. The bigger one, the biggest one of the group, is this huge first aid kit that acts kind of like a backpack on him. You can plug it around anywhere here, but I do like plugging it into his back. It just makes for a nice backpack, and it isn't that bad of a bag. I think it's really cool, and I like the fact that you can plug it in all over the place. So the big one, has a huge pocket, and it feels rumpled, like it's filled with supplies. And there's also a fold over where it's been zipped shut, I think. I think that's a zipper that runs across the entire length of it, and that's really neat. So set that big bag off to the side. Now we got a couple of other bags to cover. We only have three more bags. Two of them are the same. One of them is different. One of them that's different is a medium-sized bag, or I'd say if the first one I showed you was very small, this one's just a small bag, and it's got a clasp in it and a fold over on the pocket, as if it's carrying something that's been strapped down. So that's pretty good. And now we come over here to the medium bag, which we've got two of that have different sculpt works in them. One has what feels like to be carrying two big rectangular pouches, maybe extra, syringes or something like that for his auto injector. Yeah, it feels like that. And then the other one here feels more rounded, as if it's carrying medical supplies in bottles. So whatever he puts in the auto injector, he's carrying in the other bag, because I feel the roundness in there of liquid medical supplies or pill bottles. And it's got a strap that feels like it's a ratchet style strap, because this is the most important bag to keep stable and safe. It's got fragile containers in it. So that's his bags. And now let's come over here and talk about his vest, because his vest can carry all these bags. Now let's raise his arms up. Sadly, he doesn't come with any fun things on his arms. You would think he did, especially like a watch. I think this is a watch on his left arm, though. It's not on his right arm. Now let's see. Is that an actual? Yeah. I think if they did this right, because it kind of feels like they gave him a watch right there, and it kind of feels like the face of the watch is on the underside of his arm. Now, if they did it right, the face of the watch will be on the underside of the arm, so he can check blood pressure, and it would be on his left hand, because he'd be checking your blood pressure with his right hand, and he'd be looking at that watch. Anyone who's gone to the doctor and had their blood tested or blood pressure checked knows that there's what's called the nurse's watch, which is a tiny faced watch that just rests on the inside of your wrist so that you can stare at it while checking things. That's pretty cool. I hope that's the detail they went there. So this guy's got siege ports on him. I mean, bag ports. Yeah, he's got one on two, and on the center of his chest, there's two that are stacked, one on top of the other one, and then he's got one underneath his armpit on one side. He's got another one underneath the other armpit on the other side. So that's four altogether for the front of him. And then on his back, he's got two more for a total of six ports on his body for his bags. And yeah, if you put on all his bags, you can't also give him the gurney because he doesn't have enough ports for that. So it's either you go all the way with the bags or you don't, and you allow yourself enough room to allow him to carry the gurney. Now we talked about the gun and its texture. The gun holster is a really good one. This one feels a little new to me. It feels a bit more composite and hard instead of a soft holster for the gun. It seems like he's got a rigid holster for his gun. And now that we've covered all that, let's talk about these really neat accessories up here on his head. He's got a pair of glasses and a helmet. This helmet's different. This helmet requires that you actually pull his head off to change it. So let's go ahead and do that real quick, okay? So you gotta pull his head off, okay? Stand, sir. There you go. No, you're headless, but you can stand. Okay, so now we've got to come in here and actually kind of stretch that chin strap. And this was really weird to get it in place with the glasses. It was, I wouldn't say it's the easiest thing in the world to do, to get all this together for his head, and it's not the easiest thing in the world to do to remove his head from it. But we can stretch things out just a bit to try and remove. So, how did I get this helmet on there? Alright, there it goes. Okay, so there's that, and now we just need to pull the head through. Good grief. This is weird. This is the first helmet we have with an actual working strap, at least that I know of, and it can be difficult to get the head out, especially if you don't want to break those glasses. Come on, I want to talk about his head sculpt and stuff. Come on. Come on. Oh, Lord. Okay. He's in there. He's in there good. You just gotta fold that piece down and slide your head out. It's a bit of a tight squeeze. It's a bit of a tight squeeze because all this fits together so freaking well. But I don't want to rip anything by accident. Gotta use your fingertips here to just kind of wiggle his head out. Nuts! But did I lose your glasses? Please, I didn't lose the glasses. Good, good, good. I didn't lose the glasses. Okay, I am having a lot of difficulty getting his head out. His head doesn't want to move. May God, man, your head. Let's see, maybe I can try and get the helmet off easier if I put the head back. And just try to stretch everything. Can you do it? No, no, I can't. Nuts, 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 nuts. Oh, man. This is embarrassing. I can't get your head out of your helmet. And it's really, really annoying now. Uh-huh. So. Oh, well. We'll try a different way. We'll try a different way. Let's see. Can we try it like this? Just pull, pull. Oh my. Come on. Come on. Gotta slide the glasses out right now. There we go. So I forgot about that step. So you gotta kinda, when you're putting his helmet on, you gotta put his helmet on halfway and then slide the glasses through and then finish putting the helmet on. There it goes. Oh my God. That is a tight, tight fit. That's tight. Carl, you've got a tight head. Okay. So, for Carl here, we've got these really fun glasses. And they are really nice. I think they're actually real glasses, not sunglasses or anything like that. So he can look at the watch while he's checking your blood pressure. And they fit on his head very well. And actually fit on even better when you put the helmet on. But there is not much unique texture, though the feels like the ear legs have a little texture on them, and the center of the glasses seems to have that little bulge for the arch in the middle for the nose. That's really nice. So set the glasses off to the side. The helmet here has a crest on the front of it, and it that's about it for unique textures. It just folds over on the sides. It's basically the same helmet we've been getting, except it's got a bit more strap on it. And of course, most of the helmets we've gotten lately in G.I. Joe, or all the helmets so far, have been undone. And this guy being a medic, he knows about safety. He understands the helmet's not doing its job unless it's strapped into place. So, of course, the medic is going to set the good example and strap his helmet in. Though it may be difficult to get the helmet on and off, I do like this little chin pocket it's got on the end of the strap, and that really ensures that the helmet rests on his sharp little chin, and it fits very well on him. I like how the helmet works, and I hope we see more helmets like that in the future. Now, let's get to the actual figure himself. I know this video's been going on for a while, but there was a lot I want to showcase because this guy is so much fun. I've been waiting for him for so long. Under the side of the feet, he's got basic minimal texturing going on there. I think I felt these shoes before, but on the tops of them, these shoes feel a bit more polished and put together. They don't have as much wear and tear on them. It seems like, he's not out in the field as much. He's mainly in medical tents, so his shoes feel very much clean. Now, he's got pants that hang over his boots, because these are definitely boots, kind of like Shipwreck has, with his pants hanging down. You've got some really nice folds of the fabric going on there. This feels like some woolen pants with the texture going on that it has. I wouldn't call these jeans. I'd mainly call these like Shipwreck's pants, honestly. They feel very similar to that. And coming up here to his waist area, we've got the straps for like his fly and his belt. If we can pull this stuff up just a bit, can we bend you backwards and actually feel what's going on around your belt? Yeah, we can. All right, so he's got a utility belt on that has multiple more pockets to it. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4 pockets. There's a nice little strap in the center for the belt. It feels like there may actually be something printed on that or something. Let me know in the comments below. Does this belt actually have anything on it right there? It'd be neat if it did. Running around to the back of his belt area, we've got no more pockets, but we've got little where they seem to have actually sculpted in belt loops onto the belt. So when it's on top of these pants, it actually feels like this belt is threaded through belt loops. I think that's what that texture is supposed to be. If it is, that is really nice. Yeah, no, it feels a lot like belt loops going all the way around. So they textured the belt loops for the pants onto the belt itself, and that's neat. I didn't expect that, and that's a really cool addition to this guy. Now, he does have the fold in the cloth going down the middle of the buttocks, and now we're going to move up here to his core area. We've got that port for the bag, and then another port further up, but this feels like it's a flak jacket of some sort or a bulletproof vest, but it's very rough feeling on the back. On the front, we've got what feels like a radio etched into his left-hand side, or maybe that's just another medical device that he's got strapped to his vest. On the other side, we've got some more textured things coming on here. Actually, wait, is that? No, that's actually his collar. So that's neat. He's got a popped-up collar. We'll talk about that in a second. And coming down here to the front of him, we've got where everything straps together for his utility vest here. But his utility vest actually doesn't feel like it. If it does have armor, it's very thin armor. It's a very thinly armored vest. Moving over here, can we get much texture going on with the shirt? Let's see if we can figure out what he's wearing by moving stuff around. We've got some really nice... Yeah, I like that collar he's got going on there. Oh, it's a folded over collar. There's the texture. That's cool. He's actually got the texture of a folded over collar because he's an officer. And I got to figure out his rank, and I'll let you know in his rank what his rank is whenever I figure it out. But yeah, for the most part, his sculpt work for his body is really excellent. We've got rolled up sleeves here on his arms, and his shoulders themselves don't seem to have anything. It doesn't even. It feels like he's got. No, it just feels like there's an extra little bit of cloth there, like he's wearing an undershirt under his shirt. Yeah, that's what that feels like. Like he's got two shirts on, an overshirt that buttons up and then an undershirt under it. Can we actually feel if there's an undershirt in there? Kinda. It feels like maybe there is, but I'm not sure. Let me know in the comments. Can you see an undershirt on this guy? Now, coming down here to his arms are rolled up. We talked about the watch earlier. His hands are gloved, I think, or they feel like they may actually be plain. Let's see. Can we get like a thumbnail texture? Oh, snap. There is. There's fingernail texture, so he isn't wearing gloves. He isn't wearing gloves at all. He is barehanded. But yeah, no, there's fingernail texture. That's cool. That's a fun little addition. Now coming up to his head, we got a sharp chin, a nice little closed mouth going on there. Maybe a bit of a smile, like he's cracking a medical joke. He's got a nice little nose that holds the glasses well. His eyebrow texture is minimalistic, which is a shame. It's nice when they actually put eyebrows there, but they didn't texture them. And then coming up here to his head, it feels like this guy cuts his head very, very low, and there's actually a QC issue here where I can actually feel the line from where these two pieces of the head were connected together during assembly, which is a shame that it isn't hidden better. But no, it feels like this guy's either bald or he does a really close crop cut on his hair. Like he just shaves it all off so it's all just kind of a little bit spiky. No, I think that's what it is because I can feel the ridge line of his hair right there above his eyebrows. That's really fun. This guy is a fun figure. I enjoy him. Let's talk about articulation. It seems like he's got basically everything that we've come to expect. The we got these arm joints here, which I don't like anymore. There's something wrong with what they're doing with these arms. This rubber, it doesn't feel like ABS plastic anymore with these arms. This feels a little more rubberistic, and I don't really know how I feel about that. It does make the arm feel more real, but I worry about the longevity of that connection with that weird plastic. Core wise, he's got a ratcheted core. He has the ball joint, so he can go to town. Yeah, look at that. Oh yeah, that's a great ball joint, and he's got some amazing stuff going on with him. Head wise, he can look down a bit. He can look up a bit, but not very far because of that collar. He can crack his head left and right, but that's about it. Um, he's going to have to bend down to really get a good look at things, but he's usually going to be bent over a gurney anyway, so because he's the Doc. He's got every other joint that you've come to expect from G.I. Joe, and my overall thoughts and feelings on this guy is he's a straight up 10 out of 10. Except for that little QC problem, but I think that's just my figure. So, no, I'm giving him a 10 out of 10. I think this is an excellent G.I. Joe. And yes, my opinion is a little bit mixed in there because I've been wanting Doc for a while. Thank you all so much for watching today's video. I hope you've enjoyed the show. I know it took a little bit extra time, but I hope you enjoyed me going over everything with this nice little blind reaction. Until next Prime, can't wait for the Dragonfly. Oh, and the HasLab coming up. Come on, APC. We'll find out on Thursday. Bye-bye for now.